Welcome to another episode on how LoRa works with Shelly, where we discuss how to use LoRa to communicate between Shelly devices that are outside the Wi-Fi range. And this video is in response to a user request where he asked me how I can modify one of my earlier codes to work with two-channel devices. So if you want some of those details, I would recommend that you watch the video 8 in this LoRa Shelly series, which I'm going to link, in the cards. And also, if you're completely new to this, I would recommend that you also watch the first episode in this series where I explain how LoRa works, especially how LoRa works in Shelly, and especially some of the considerations that we have to take into account when we are using LoRa, for example, the airtime. So going back to the request which was made on video number 8, where I just simply replicated the state of an output channel to a remote device over LoRa. And in that example, I used just a single channel. Let's assume that that's a Shelly 1 and there is a Shelly 1 on the other side as well. But then he said, can we make it so that it actually works with a two-channel device? So in here, I have the Shelly 2PM. What if this other device is also a Shelly 2PM? So if I operate the two channels of this device, then the output copies over to this remote device. So going back to the scenario, let's assume that this device on the left, this is on the Wi-Fi network, it's in the house, it has very good Wi-Fi coverage. You can see it in the Shelly app. So you can use either the app or the push buttons or automations to turn the two outputs on and off. And then you have another device which sits, let's say, at the very end of the garden in a shed, which is far beyond the Wi-Fi network. So we can only communicate with this device using LoRa. So we are going to use LoRa to send all the updates. So if I turn this on, then it sends the update over to LoRa and it turns the output on the remote device on as well. And of course, if I turn it off, then this information goes through. And I have also implemented a feedback option. So let's assume that this remote device also has some buttons connected to it or light switch. So if you change that light switch, so if you turn it off on the remote device, then the update copies over to the main device. So you would be able to see in the app that the light got turned off, and it got turned off because somebody manually turned off in the shed. My only issue with this particular scenario is I don't have another Shelly 2PM. So I have a Shelly 1 and a Shelly 2PM. So I won't be able to show you the full functionality, and of course I have done the code changes without being able to test it, but I'm pretty confident that the way I made the changes is going to work. And as you're going to see in the code as well, there is a lot of copy and paste, so it's not really that complicated. With this example, the setup is very easy. We don't have to create virtual components because we are using the inputs and the outputs on the gateway device to copy to the inputs and the outputs of the remote device. So as I said, there is no virtual components needed. So let's get on with it. And I'm going to change the view and we are going to jump straight into the, let's say, onto the first Shelly. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk you through the whole process and how that process is implemented in the two scripts. So we have one script which is running on the gateway. So that's the one which is on the Wi-Fi. And it has a lot of standard LoRa codes that I explained in the first video and also in video number 8. So I'm going to skip that. The important thing here is that we need a status handler, because we are actually going to watch these changes of the output, not the button presses, but the changes of the output. So it doesn't really matter whether the output got turned on and off by a physical button or the app or an automation. We are just going to look at the fact that the output got turned on, which is a status update. So we are looking for the status messages and we check whether the status message is an object, and if it has a component is the switch :0. So that's the first output, or I mean for the 2PM that's the, let's say, the first output. For any other device which only has one output, that's just the only output. And then we are also going to check the status.data.source, and that tells us why the output got turned on and off. And what we are going to see later on, that for the second test where the remote device gets turned on, the source is going to be loopback. So we don't want messages going back and forth. So if the source is not loopback, then we are going to send a LoRa message. And depending on the status.delta.output, which shows the state the output got changed to, whether it's true or false, we are going to send a message AO or AF. And as I said previously, I'm just using a letter in the alphabet for the first character and O for on, F for off. So we are sending a message which contains these two characters, AO or AF, whether the output got turned on or turned off. And we just have to copy and paste this piece of code and do implement it for the second output, which is going to be called switch 1 or switch colon 1. And we do exactly the same process, but we send a different, we send a message with a different first character, which is going to be B in this case. So BO or BF, whether the second channel got turned on or turned off. And that's the bit which I'm not going to be able to replicate it here because my source device is a single channel device. But again, if you would use a 2PM there, you would have a switch 1, switch 0 and switch 1. So then these messages AO, AF or BO, BF goes to the remote device, and I have a similar code here, LoRa 2 channel remote. By the way, all this code is going to be in the link in the video description. So, and here, because that's a LoRa message, that's going to be an event. So we need to create an event handler, and that has the usual bits for checking whether the message is a LoRa message, decrypting the message, checking whether the decrypted message is valid, and also printing the decrypted message onto the console. And then it checks whether the first letter is A, and if the second letter is O, then we need to turn the first output on, which is a Shelly call with a method switch.set, and the ID 0 because it's the first output, and the on is true because it needs to be turned on. If the second character is F, then again we call the same, ID 0, and the on is false because it needs to be turned off. And again, it's a copy and paste of the same logic, but with the second channel. So we are checking whether first character is B, and if the second character is O, then we are going to switch the ID 1, which is the second channel, to on, or the second channel to off. So straightforward. So that communication takes care of copying the changes from the gateway onto the remote, and we are going to see how it works the other way around. So on the remote, we are going to check whether the output changes. So that's going to be a status event, similarly how it was a status event on the gateway device. And we almost do the exact same thing. So we check whether the status is an object. We check whether the component is switch colon 0, which is the first output on the remote, while we are on the remote device. And we are going to check the source again, but in this case, we are going to check whether the source is the button. So we assume that here, most of the logic is going to be controlled by the gateway device. But if somebody uses the switches to turn the device on and off, we want that status or want that changes to be copied over to the gateway device. So later, if you look at your phone, you would be able to see the actual change of the actual state of the remote device on the phone as well. So we are going to check whether the source is a button, and then we are going to do exactly the same what we have done previously. So based on the status.data.output, we are going to send a message either with an O for on and an F for F. And just to make sure that we don't mix up all these messages, I'm going to use a different letter. So CO or CF for the first output. And for the second output, switch 1. Again, I'm checking whether the source is a button. I'm sending DO or DF. And going back to the Shelly, we have to handle these messages that are coming back as well. And it has the same LoRa script that is on the remote device, the LoRa event handler. And again, we are checking here whether the first character is C, and then we are going to switch the ID 0 to true or the ID 0 to false. And if the first character is D, then we are going to set the ID 1 to true or the ID 1 to false, whether the second character is O or F. So, and that's it. And actually, let me show you how it works. If I can do side-by-side view here. So scroll all the way down. I'm going to clear the logs. So first I'm going to turn on the first output on the gateway. So we are going to send an AO to the remote device. So you see channel 1 on message sent, and it received an AO, and the output is now on. Actually, let me use this. So now you can see that the output is on. So if I turn it off, then we are sending a channel 1 off message, and that's going to be an AF. And I won't be able to show you the BO and the BF because here I don't have a second button because it's only a first channel Shelly. But again, if you have the 2PM here, you would have a second button, and that would be the BO and the BF. Let me turn it on. So we are sending an AO. So now I'm going to turn it off from the remote device. So that's going to send a message back. So that's going to be the C and the D messages. And because I'm turning this off on the first channel, that's going to be a CF. So first channel message off sent, and the CF is received, and the output got turned off. So that is it. As I said, if you want this and if you have two Shelly 2s or Shelly 2PMs, you can implement this node. Of course, you need the LoRa add-on boards. You can see both of them has the LoRa add-on boards, hence the wire which is sticking out here. And you will be able to do this two-way communication for both of the channels. And to access the code, check the video description below that has the code for this script. If you want to buy, for example, this Shelly 2PM Gen 4, I'm going to have affiliated links in the video description below as well. And again, there are going to be links in the cards for the first introductory video and the previous version, which was working with one channel only. So I think that should be all for today. Thanks for watching, and hopefully see you in the next one.